All right, let's introduce another cooking video. Tonight I'm going Asian, in a way. Um, that's my cast iron wok. I got that when I lived in Japan back in the 80s. It's at least 30 years old. I don't use it very much, but I thought, hey, I'm going to make a video. Bring out the big gear. All right, I'm going to do a sauce. Soy, fish sauce, sugar, honey, garlic, ginger, everything. I'm going to cube up this pork steak, and I'm going to, of course, do that in the sauce, the glaze, sort of soy glaze, soy sweet glaze that I make. And these are it's a stir fry vegetable thing, but they're frozen. And if you've ever tried to stir fry frozen vegetables, it's a soggy disaster. So I'm seeing if I can mitigate that. Hey, we try lots of things up here. So I'll be back when I start cooking. All right, let's make the sauce to start off with. So I'm going to use half a cup of soy sauce. Going to are they? I'm gonna go with a. I always wing this stuff, so typically I don't go with. So I'm gonna use a half of a teaspoon of fish sauce. I'm going to, I got some that spilled. Wipe that up so I don't make a mess. I'm thinking about 2 tablespoons of sugar. And about the same of honey. Now this is old honey, but honey can last a million years if you do your research. It's pretty much the same, but it does crystallize over time. So about 2 tablespoons of honey. I don't use honey hardly ever, so it was in my cupboard. All right, so. But it's still the same bee shit. Honey is bee shit, or I think, or it's like bee cum, or it's bee saliva. I'm not quite sure, but it is a product of whatever bees do. So that, and I don't have fresh ginger. I could have gotten some at the store, but I'm like, I want to try it with just dry ginger. I have this stuff. So I'm going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon initially. And I'm going to do a clove. There'll be eventually 3 cloves, but so that's how you do a clove of garlic. Everybody has all these things. See? There, I just took a clove off of a bulb, and there I have garlic. Everybody has all these devices. It's hilarious. And you just take a knife, smash it, and you can mince to chop a bit. And there you have garlic, without all the devices. Right, so I'm just going to put that in the pot too, fresh garlic. And I'm going to heat that up and reduce it a tiny bit, and then we'll get back to cooking the pork, which is here. That's going to be cubed and cooked in the wok, and with some garlic, and then we're going to do a little bit of roasted garlic at the end. I'll show you, and it's a pretty simple meal. Now we get into the meat of it. The cast iron here is plenty hot, so that the pork doesn't stick initially. There's no need to add. This dish does not need any more fat, but I'm going to use just a teeny bit of coconut oil just to keep it from like crazy sticking right off the bat. Like that. And then we'll toss in our pork. Don't grab it, Richard. Use a hot pad. And I'm going to kind of do. I'm doing this way to crisp it up a bit under very high heat. Oh, in other news. Here's the sauce or glaze. It's not really a glaze. It needs to reduce more. I did have to add, just so you know, from what I did before, an additional tablespoon of sugar and an additional tablespoon of honey. And it's not even sweet. It doesn't even taste sweet. So I'm trying to like sneak up on that. I like a little sweetness, not too much. So the pork is pretty fatty. So the idea here is to render it a bit, and I will be then putting it into this pan with the glaze, covered on very simmer for like maybe 20 minutes or so, and then I will do the vegetables at the end of that process of time, and then we'll be off and running. But as you can see, the pork is still quite rubbery. It's rendering fat, but it's by no means cooked. So it's a two-step process. But here's what I'm going to do. So I have another clove of garlic. And again, you smash it with your the palm of your hand. And then just peel off the shell like that. All these devices. You're dumb if you're using them. Then you take a knife. Here, let me show you. Take a flat blade knife, and just go bam, and smash it, and then introduce it into your dish like that. All these devices people use. That's how easy it is. Don't be a fucking moron, and don't buy the shit from people. All right, so we're doing the garlic in there like that. Oh yeah, coming up nice. And then, you know, when I put this in there, I'm likely going to toss in, I'm going to saute a smaller clove of garlic and add that to the sauce. All right, so I think you see where I'm going with this. So not to belabor the length of the video, and I'll be back. All right, we're back. So we're talking about 10 minutes or so on high for this pork steak that's been cubed up. A lot of fat rendering there. And so we're going to pan it. Turn down the heat to low. It's going in this pan. You do it like that. It's all the stuff. See the fat in there, and there's the stuff in the pan. And what we're gonna do, I think I got you here. I'm going to take the glaze and I'm gonna pour it in there like that. Turn off that flame. I'm going to stir it up. See, it's already glazing. You see it's a little bit thickened. And I'm going to put it at a simmer to make sure the middle of the pork is done. Okay, so there it is on the simmer. I'm going to put it at about medium on that and covered. Because at this point we don't really want to lose much moisture. We want to use the moisture to cook it. And so now we go back to the thing here. But, so I'm going to be, the next thing is to do the vegetables. And I'm going to do them in there. I'm not going to put another clove of garlic in the thing. I think 2 is enough. There was plenty of flavor in this one, so I think I'll forego that. I was going to like quickly saute another clove of garlic and add it to the beef. I think we're good. And then I'm going to fire the thawed and drained frozen vegetables to see if we can get a decent vegetable mix, stir-fry mix out of this. And it does have water chestnuts, which is a plus. I'll be back. Okay, we continue from here. So the pork with the sauce is decent. If I used a little bit more sugar and honey, it would be more of a glaze sort of thing, but I don't really like sweet. I like just on the edge of sweet. I'm reheating the wok here. These are frozen vegetables. So if you've ever tried to do stir-fried frozen vegetables, it's always a disaster. So I'm seeing if I can actually do that because it's of interest to me because I live up here in the mountains. I'm one person and buying fresh vegetables, and of course it's better, is just, hang on. Got to turn on the fan here because the pan is smoking. That's the pork fat smoking there. If you buy fresh vegetables, of course it's good, but how do you do a stir fry for a one meal at the market? It costs you 15 bucks in vegetables to get a stir fry. Whereas what is a package of frozen vegetables? So to mitigate that, I pull them out, put them in a strainer, douse them in water to get off all the ice crystals, let them drain, then do a couple rounds on a paper towel, doubled, tripled, whatever, enough to spread them out, as I showed you at the beginning. And that was just round one, number one. I did another round, and so you can't really dry them, but at least I don't have to do it in a pot. So let's see how it goes. Oh wait, let's go to high here. I want very high heat. Very high heat. I want to cook them very fast. And get as much moisture out as possible so that I hope to get at least some of the wonderful crunchiness of an Asian stir-fried vegetable. Keep them moving. I'm doing this for the first time, incidentally. This is not like, so it's, I do experimental stuff, cooking stuff. It's like, what if you could use a bag of frozen it said stir-fried vegetables. What if you could do it and actually get something that's like somewhat equivalent to what you would get with fresh, not equivalent, but at least passable. It's good. It has nice crunch texture, like a good stir fry should. It's all about water. You know, freezing them breaks the membranes, and so a lot of the water is available. So what I'm thinking is that you don't really need to stir fry them for very long, but you do it on high heat in order to get out as much water as possible and see if you can retain just a bit of the crunchiness. So I'm rambling on and on here. All right, I'll be back to plate. All right, let's do this. The pork, it is tasty. I can tell you, I've tasted the sauce, and it is not too sweet. It's nicely it's nicely has a bit of salty left over from the soy sauce, actually. I'll leave that for tomorrow. All right. Now let's plate the veggies. Make sure to get all the water chestnuts, which is my favorite part of any stir fry, any Asian sort of stir fry, if it has water chestnuts in it. There's one, it's stubborn. There we go. All right. So, no rice this time. How's that? I'll take a couple snaps and I'll post the video.